Well, today I am going to tell you all about the day that we had in Salzburg, Austria yesterday. As always, we did a tour that included the history of the town and some sightseeing, and then focused on the Christmas markets since that's what we're here for. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please be sure to click on that subscribe button? And if you appreciate my updates, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Well, yesterday was one of the favorite days in my whole life. You know, you look back on your trips or whatever it is in your life, and sometimes you remember things like, that was a great trip. But you know what? I am never going to forget yesterday in Salzburg, Austria. So the ship came into Linz and docked there. We woke up to a lot of fog. We have had fog because, well, it's the basics. The river is warmer, the air is colder, and so we get a lot of fog here and there. But as soon as we boarded the bus and started driving inland, not too far in, the fog started to burn off. The sunshine came out. We had perfect blue skies, and it was a beautiful day. It's about a 2-hour ride, somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours to get from Linz, Austria into Salzburg, right downtown to where you want to be. The Christmas markets, for the most part, are in the old town. The bus dropped us off at Mirabell Palace, which is beautiful in its own right. But if you have seen the movie Sound of Music, and especially if you enjoy that movie, that scenery right there and that square has even more meaning. It's got the steps where they were singing Do, Re, Mi and hopping up and down the steps. You can see the beautiful horse fountain behind them, and so much of that area right there you recognize from the movie. It's absolutely beautiful though, so it's lovely to visit. So then we walked there over to the old town, which is across the Salzburg River, and it truly looks like the old town. It's absolutely beautiful, but you know, I think that all of Salzburg is beautiful. So we walked across the river, crossed the street, and into the old town. Our tour guide walked us along. As we walked along, as she told us about, for example, like where Mozart was born and where he moved to and all of this kind of stuff. We did see Christmas markets along the way. There was one right by the Mirabell Palace, and then I saw another one as we were walking between the Mirabell Palace and over to where we crossed the river. And then once we came in to the old town there were several along the way. And so we just thoroughly enjoyed walking along there. By the time we got maybe, I think, a little more than halfway through the tour, we decided we wanted to do our own thing. With it being the third time that Gordon and I have been to Salzburg, we know some things we love. If you go to Salzburg, they have what they call Mozart balls. This is what the Mozart balls look like. They are just this, you know, a ball like this, and about this big around. They've got marzipan on the inside. They've got some that have different flavors. The first ones, F-U-R-S-T with the umlaut over the U, those are the original ones. This is the first place that made them all of these years ago, and I have made it a quest to try several different ones, and indeed, these are the best. They are not inexpensive. I guess it depends on what you usually pay. They are 2.20 euros, and if you want to buy them individually, but you can get them. This is a bag. You can get them in different sizes of bags, and thoroughly enjoy it. So here's the bag from the place. Their main place, they have a couple of different ones, but the Café Konditorei, that is also their cafe. So you walk in the door. I'm going to tell you how this works so that you know what to do. You walk in the door, and immediately you're going to see a glass case that has lots of different kinds of cake, lots of different kinds of confections, and you're going to want to try one probably, because that's the thing you do. In Austria, you have cake and coffee, or cake and hot chocolate, whatever it is you want to drink with it, but traditionally they do the cake and hot chocolate or coffee. And it is just a special occasion that they do, and I wouldn't even say quite so special, but they do it frequently, like maybe sometimes every day is what people there tell me. So you walk in, you see that case, you think to yourself what you want, and then you walk straight back, and there are tables there. If there's no openings there, go upstairs. There are tables there as well. you identify your table, whoever's with you, sit down, or else if you're by yourself, put your coat on the chair so they know that table's taken. Go back to the counter there, let them know which table you are and what it is that you would like to eat. And so you tell them, you know, I had the Black Forest cherry cake, which is absolutely outstanding. And you let them know what you want. Then you go back and sit down. The waiter will bring you your cake. If you don't want to go back and tell them, you can wait for the waiter to come. But we were trying to fit as much as we could into our day, and it's perfectly acceptable to go back and tell them your table number. So we did that, and the waiter brought that, and he says, "What would you like to drink?" And we ordered the hot chocolate. Absolutely outstanding, and you can truly linger there as long as you want. When we were there this summer, because we were driving, we lingered and really enjoyed that really special ritual and relaxing time of enjoying the cake and our hot chocolate. Now, yeah, when we let the waiter know that we were there only for a few hours and we're trying to fit a lot in, so he brought our check right away when we were done, and off we went. So that, I think, is something really important, because it's not only delicious to try, but it is something that they do there in their culture, and what an amazing place that is. So that is in the Old Town area. They do have a first store that is across the river. It's across the street from where the Mirabelle Palace is, kind of close. You'll see a church there. It's not too far there, and we have eaten there as well. Absolutely wonderful. It's really small though. And so thoroughly enjoyed that. And then we went walking around, and there are, like I had told you, there are several Christmas markets. The really huge main Christmas market is in the square there with the Salzburg Cathedral. And once again, Sound of Music, you're going to recognize the fountain that's there. And with that huge cathedral there, that square that has the fountain, it is full of Christmas market stalls walking into the area. And then when you go into the courtyard for the front of the church, the cathedral, there is a whole bunch more. And so we just, and it was magical. The lights were there. They were playing Christmas music. People were there. I saw children playing and happy to be there, and families, friends talking, and just a special place to be, to just let it wash all over you and just really soak up the season and how special it was to be there. So we just really enjoyed it. We got, Gordon got the brats and sauerkraut on a sandwich. I got the schnitzel on a sandwich. Absolutely delicious. When you go to the Christmas markets, they have different kinds of mugs. And when you go to the Christmas markets, some of the stalls have the same mugs and some have different ones. So you kind of walk around and see what it is that you like the best. Well, right next to the place that we got our food was a gentleman, and he had the glühwein and different kinds of punch. And whether or non-alcoholic, and all you do is just say, I want, the punch with no alcohol, and they give it to you. Well, he had 2 different kinds of mugs. Aren't they beautiful? And so I said to him, I said, well, I'll do the blue one. I love that one. And he said, well, this one is beautiful, and I'm low. And I could see that he didn't have very many left. And so I was like, okay. So we got a berry punch and a blood orange punch. The berry was very, very good, and Gordon preferred it. Oh my goodness, the blood orange punch. I wish I could have that again. But anyway, so what you do is you get your mugs, and you have to pay extra money. I think it was €4 at his place as a deposit. And so if we would have gone back, finished our drink, and said, here are your mugs, he would have given us €4 back per mug, okay? But we wanted to keep them. Usually, always, what you can do is go back and say, I would like clean ones because I want to keep them. And he'll trade them out for clean ones. But he had a really long line by the time we were ready to do that. And so we just kept these and wiped them out. But I wanted you to know that was really special. So we just spent the rest of our time walking around the Christmas market. Gordon found a place to sit down and enjoy it, and just really thoroughly enjoyed getting to see it. After we had gotten our cake, we had walked back to a couple of other Christmas markets. But really my favorite one, there were places that had the cookies. We got each a Linzer cookie. That's traditional to that region. And just tried some other treats, and just really enjoyed our time there. And truly, it's not what you can buy, and it's not the food you eat. It's the magic of being there. And I'm going to talk about that more this week. But as we go to more and more markets, I'm coming to understand truly why people would do this again, why you would go home and save your money to come back and do this again. It's crystal clear to me now, and I am sure it will be even more clear to me by the time we're done in Budapest. So let me know what questions you have. Know that when you go to Salzburg, as well as a lot of these other Christmas markets and places, it's hard to find parking. And I heard people, just overheard them talking about it, that they had driven around for like 2 hours trying to find parking and finally found a parking spot. And so to me, that's one of the beautiful things about either using the train if you want to travel that way, or doing it on a ship, because you don't have to worry about parking. The bus took good care of us. They took us from the ship to the Christmas market. Afterwards, they picked us up and took us back to the ship, so we didn't have to use any of our time looking for parking. It is crowded, but you know what? It's just part of the hustle and bustle. Salzburg to me is a really special place because not only the Sound of Music, if you follow along here, you know I love the Sound of Music, because of the really rich history that they have there, the good care that they have taken of their old town area. Those buildings date back, for example, one was marked 1269. That is how long that building has been standing there. And they just renovate it, they paint it, they keep it in great shape and continue to use it. So it's a really special place to visit. The people there are very kind. They're absolutely wonderful. And so I would just say that all of that combined is what made yesterday a perfect day. So wanted to share it with you. Make sure that you saw all of our footage. Let me know what questions you have about going to Salzburg. Salzburg is a place, out of all of the places we visited so far, I would love to fly here at Christmas time and get to spend a couple of days there. That's how remarkable it is, and just have time to walk around and enjoy it all and soak it up for even longer. So I'll be talking to y'all again really soon. Y'all take really good care. God bless you. Love you.